You are about to discover something that will completely shatter your perception of reality. At this very moment, as you watch this video, there is a version of you operating in the 11th dimension, orchestrating every detail of your life in ways your conscious mind can't even begin to imagine. This isn't some empty esoteric theory or a cheap self-help promise. It's a convergence between the most advanced quantum physics and ancient wisdoms that are now beginning to reveal themselves through science. Your other self is there right now, in this fraction of a second, influencing every choice you think is yours. What if you knew how to consciously access this connection? What if you could converse with this expanded version of yourself that already holds all the answers? Before we continue, do something simple for me and for yourself. Like this video now, because what I'm about to share in the next few minutes might be the key you've been searching for years, without even realizing it. Modern quantum physics is no longer science fiction. Edward Witten, one of the most brilliant physicists of our era, developed M-theory in 1995, which mathematically demonstrates the existence of 11 dimensions in the universe. I'm not talking about vague hypotheses, but complex equations that only make sense when we include these extra dimensions in our calculations. Lisa Randall and Raman Sundram, in 1999, went further and showed that our three-dimensional universe is merely a membrane floating in an ocean of higher dimensions. Think about that for a moment. You live in a reality that is just an infinitesimally small slice of something much grander. And here's the crucial point. If there are 11 dimensions, and you exist in this three-dimensional reality, where is the rest of you? The answer is both unsettling and liberating. The rest of you, the larger, more powerful part, operates in these higher dimensions, especially the 11th, where all possibilities coexist simultaneously. Let me introduce an image that will accompany our journey today. Imagine an infinite cosmic tapestry woven with threads of light that intertwine in patterns impossible to fully comprehend. Each thread represents a choice, each knot is a decisive moment, each color is an emotion or thought. You, in this reality, can only see a small piece of this tapestry, as if your face were pressed against the fabric, seeing only a few threads around you. But your 11th dimensional self is the master weaver, observing the entire tapestry from a perspective impossible for your three-dimensional mind to imagine. It sees all the patterns, all the possibilities, all the paths you've taken and haven't taken, constantly weaving new designs based on a wisdom that transcends linear time. When you're paralyzed by indecision, you know that moment when you need to make an important decision and you just freeze? You analyze all the options, make pros and cons lists, consult friends, but still feel like you're in the dark, groping for direction. This limiting pattern happens because you're trying to solve a multi-dimensional problem with a mind that operates only in 3 dimensions. It's like trying to understand a movie by watching only one frame at a time. Have you ever stopped to wonder why some decisions just feel right, even when they don't make logical sense? Think about that time you felt an inexplicable urge to call someone, only to find out that person desperately needed to talk to you at that exact moment. Or when you changed your plans at the last second, and it turned out to be the best thing that could have happened. These aren't accidents or coincidences. These are moments when you, without realizing it, tuned into the frequency of your 11th dimensional self, which already sees the outcome of all possibilities. Take a deep breath now. Feel the air filling your lungs. And as you exhale, imagine you are releasing the need to control every detail. Your other self already knows the way. The cosmic tapestry is already being woven with mastery. When you stop forcing and start flowing, the answers emerge naturally, as if they were always there waiting for you. The paralysis of indecision is just the 3-dimensional ego, trying to do the work of a multi-dimensional consciousness. Comment below with the word flow if you're ready to trust in this higher wisdom that already resides within you. When the fear of the future consumes your present, the fear of what's to come is a mental prison that keeps millions of people in a constant state of anxiety. You wake up in the middle of the night with your heart racing, thinking about bills to pay, decisions you need to make, catastrophic scenarios your mind insists on creating. This pattern repeats day after day, draining your vital energy and preventing you from accessing your true potential. But what if I told you that your future already exists, not as a fixed, immutable destiny, but as infinite possibilities vibrating at different frequencies in the 11th dimension? Every worry you feed is literally tuning you into the versions of reality you fear the most. It's like you have a cosmic remote control, and you keep obsessively switching to the darkest channels. Think about how a radio station works. There are hundreds of frequencies transmitting simultaneously, but you only hear the one your device is tuned into. In the same way, there are infinite versions of your future coexisting now, and your 11th dimensional self has access to all of them. When you live in fear, you are asking the master weaver to pull the darkest threads of the tapestry. But when you cultivate trust and gratitude, even without external evidence, you are changing the frequency and accessing futures where your best versions already exist. Close your eyes for a moment and place your hand over your heart. Feel the steady rhythm, this bodily wisdom that doesn't need you to think to keep functioning. Just as your heart knows how to beat, your multidimensional self knows how to weave the best path. Fear is just static in the transmission. When you learn to adjust the frequency through trust, the signal becomes crystal clear. If this resonates with you, subscribe to the channel now to receive more keys to accessing your multidimensional wisdom. When you feel like you're always playing catch-up, there's a persistent feeling that no matter how hard you try, you're always a few steps behind where you should be. You look at others, and it seems like they have some secret you don't know, some unfair advantage that always puts them ahead. This feeling of scarcity and delay is one of the cruelest illusions of the three-dimensional experience, because it assumes that time is linear and resources are finite. Have you ever considered that perhaps there is no behind or ahead when we observe reality from a multidimensional perspective? In the 11th dimension, all moments exist simultaneously. The version of you that has already achieved everything you desire exists now, not in the future. The feeling of being behind is just your three-dimensional mind trying to organize non-linear experiences into a sequence that makes sense to it. Think about the last time you had déjà vu, that strange feeling of having already experienced that moment before. What you experienced was a glimpse into the non-linear nature of time, a moment when your consciousness briefly touched another timeline where that scene had already occurred. Your 11th dimensional self doesn't see your life as a race with a beginning, middle, and end. To it, you've already arrived, you are arriving, and you will still arrive, all at the same time. When you stop running and start being, you access the power to collapse time, bringing into the now the accomplishments your linear mind insists on projecting into the future. Breathe deeply and feel your feet touching the ground. You are exactly where you need to be in this moment. The cosmic tapestry has no finish lines, only constantly evolving patterns. Every thread the master weaver intertwines is perfect for the overall design, even when you can't see the full picture. The race you think you're losing is an illusion. In truth, you are dancing in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Type "I've arrived" in the comments if you're ready to stop running and start manifesting from the state of already having arrived. When your relationships always seem to repeat the same patterns, you meet someone new, everything seems different this time, but then, inevitably, the same problems arise. The same arguments, the same disappointments, the same painful endings. It's as if you're stuck in a time loop, condemned to repeat the same movie with different actors. This pattern is neither coincidence nor bad luck. It's the three-dimensional manifestation of a program running in higher dimensions. And until you access and rewrite that program, it will continue to repeat. But why does this happen? Why do you always attract the same type of person or situation? The answer lies in the communication between your different dimensional versions. Your 11th dimensional self is constantly sending information to your three-dimensional version, but this information is filtered through your beliefs, traumas, and programming. It's like trying to watch a 4K movie on an old TV. The transmission quality is perfect, but the receiving device distorts the image. Imagine that every relationship you've had or will have exists simultaneously on different threads of the cosmic tapestry. Some threads are golden and luminous, representing harmonious connections. Others are dark and tangled, representing conflict and pain. Your 11th dimensional self sees all these threads and is constantly trying to guide you towards the more luminous patterns. But if you're tuned into the frequency of fear, lack, or distrust, you'll continue to be drawn to the darker threads. The key to breaking the pattern isn't in changing others, but in changing the frequency at which you operate. When you access the perspective of your multidimensional self, you realize that every person who enters your life is a mirror reflecting aspects of your own inner dimensions. Place your hand over the center of your chest now and feel the expansion that happens when you breathe. This space that opens is a portal. It is through it that your 11th dimensional self transmits unconditional love, not just for others, but primarily for yourself. When you learn to receive this multidimensional love, your 3-dimensional relationships transform naturally. Like this video, if you're ready to access relationships that exist on higher frequencies. When abundance always seems to elude you, money comes and goes, but it never stays. You work hard, do everything right, but true prosperity always seems to be just beyond your reach. This pattern of persistent scarcity isn't about how hard you work or how much you deserve. It's about which dimensional version of abundance you are accessing. In the 11th dimension, abundance isn't something you chase, it's something you are. All versions of you that have already manifested unlimited wealth exist now, vibrating at specific frequencies. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to magnetize opportunities effortlessly? They're not doing something you don't know. They are simply tuned into versions of themselves that operate on the frequency of abundance. It's like having access to a cosmic bank account that's already full, while others are still trying to make deposits into an account they believe is empty. Think about the cosmic tapestry again. There are threads of pure gold interwoven throughout its entire length, representing infinite flows of abundance. Your 11th dimensional self not only sees these threads, it constantly weaves them into your life pattern. But if you're operating from a consciousness of scarcity, it's as if you're wearing glasses that filter out the golden color. The threads are there, abundance is flowing, but you literally can't see or access it. True manifestation doesn't happen when you try to attract something from the outside in. It happens when you access the frequency where that already exists within you. Your other self is already prosperous in infinite realities. The question isn't how to get it, but how to tune in. Now feel the tingling in the palms of your hands. Rub them gently and imagine you are generating a powerful magnetic field. This field doesn't attract abundance. It reveals the abundance that has always been there, waiting to be recognized. Every cell in your body is a portal to multidimensional prosperity. Comment abundance now if you're ready to stop chasing and start embodying your dimensional wealth. When you feel like you've lost your spiritual connection, there was a time when you felt the magic of life pulsating in every moment. But now, everything seems mechanical, empty, devoid of that special glow that made existence meaningful. You try to meditate, but your mind won't quiet down. You try to pray, but the words feel hollow. This spiritual disconnection is one of the deepest sufferings of the human experience, because it touches the very essence of who you are. But what if this feeling of disconnection was actually an invitation, a call from your 11th dimensional self to expand your understanding of what it means to be connected? What you interpret as a loss of spiritual connection might be the moment you are about to make a quantum leap in your consciousness. It's like a caterpillar in its cocoon. For it, the world it knew has ended. Everything is dark, restricted, meaningless. It doesn't know that it's about to emerge as a butterfly, with capabilities its former self couldn't even imagine. Visualize the cosmic tapestry once more. Sometimes the master weaver needs to undo some knots to create a more magnificent pattern. What you experience as disconnection is the moment between patterns, the sacred space where the new is being woven. Your 11th dimensional self isn't distant or inaccessible. It's closer than ever in these moments of apparent emptiness, whispering through the silence, communicating through absence. True spirituality isn't about feeling connected all the time. It's about trusting in the connection even when you don't feel it. It's knowing that the master weaver continues working even when you can't see the threads being intertwined. Close your eyes and imagine yourself floating in a dark, comforting cosmic ocean. There's nothing to do, nothing to achieve, nothing to fix. Just float. This void you fear is actually the womb of all possibilities, the 0 point where your multidimensional self can completely rewrite your reality. If you are going through this moment of spiritual recalibration, type rebirthing in the comments. When you feel like your manifestations never work, you've tried all the techniques: visualization, affirmations, vision boards, meditation. You've read all the books, watched all the videos, but still, what you desire remains out of reach. This cycle of hope and frustration is exhausting, and many give up, concluding that manifestation is just an illusion. But the problem was never the technique. The problem is that you were trying to manifest from your 3-dimensional mind when true creation happens in the 11th dimension. Can you understand the fundamental difference here? Manifestation isn't about bringing something that doesn't exist into existence. It's about tuning into the reality where that already exists. Your 11th dimensional self doesn't need to create anything, because there, all possibilities already are. The work isn't creation, but selection and attunement. Every time you try to force a manifestation through mental techniques, you are operating from a place of separation, assuming that you and your desire are in different places. Return to the image of the cosmic tapestry one last time. Your desire isn't a thread that needs to be added to the fabric. It's already there, intertwined in countless patterns. The master weaver sees them all. When you stop trying and start allowing, when you stop asking and start receiving, you allow your 11th dimensional self to direct your 3-dimensional consciousness to the pattern where your desire is already reality. True manifestation is an act of remembrance, not creation. Breathe deeply and feel every cell of your body vibrating. This vibration is your unique dimensional signature. When you adjust this vibration through the feeling of already having, not the desire to have, you automatically align with the realities where your dreams are already facts. Your other self already knows exactly how to do this. You just need to trust and allow. Subscribe now and hit the bell icon to receive the next transmissions from your multidimensional self. Now that you understand the patterns that kept you trapped in a limited reality, let me share the 3-step method to consciously access your 11th dimensional self. First step, embrace multiplicity. Stop thinking of yourself as one person trying to become something better. Start perceiving yourself as a multi-dimensional consciousness, experiencing a temporary 3-dimensional perspective. When you wake up in the morning, before opening your eyes, mentally say, "I am all versions of myself that exist, are existing, and will exist." This acceptance isn't just mental. It's a vibrational recognition that opens the channels of communication with your other dimensions. For example, when you face a challenge at work, instead of thinking about how to solve it, ask, "Which version of me has already solved this?" and allow the answer to emerge naturally. Second step, extract the dimensional gift. Every experience, especially challenging ones, contains dimensional activation codes. When something doesn't go as planned, instead of resisting or lamenting, ask, "What wisdom is my 11th dimensional self trying to transmit to me through this?" For example, if you miss an opportunity that seemed perfect, consider that your multidimensional self might be directing you towards something even better that your 3-dimensional mind cannot yet perceive. The gift is always present, but you need to shift your frequency from frustration to curiosity to access it. Third step, redirect vibrational focus. Once you have embraced your multiplicity and extracted the gift, the final step is to consistently redirect your focus to the frequency of your desired reality. This isn't superficial positive thinking. It's a deep vibrational recalibration. Every day, spend 5 minutes feeling how you would feel if your desire were already reality. Don't visualize getting, feel having. For example, if you desire financial abundance, don't imagine receiving money. Feel the security, freedom, and peace that come with established prosperity. Your 11th dimensional self responds to frequencies, not words or images. The truth that may be difficult to accept initially is this: you don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are in all your dimensions. Your 11th dimensional self is not a separate entity you need to contact. It is you, operating at a frequency of consciousness that transcends the limitations of linear space-time. Every intuition you have, every synchronicity you experience, every moment of inexplicable clarity are direct communications from this expanded version of yourself. The 11th dimension is constantly whispering, but you need to quiet the three-dimensional noise to hear. Your current reality, with all its challenges and limitations, is merely an echo of past vibrational choices. But here's the transformative power of this understanding. If your reality is an echo, you can change the original sound and create a new echo. Your other self already knows how to do this. In fact, it has already done so in countless versions of reality. You're not learning something new, you're remembering something you've always known. Every time you feel that shiver down your spine, that gut feeling before something important happens, that inexplicable certainty about a decision, you are tapping into the wisdom of your multidimensional self. The journey isn't about becoming something you're not. It's about letting go of resistance to what you already are in your dimensional totality. When you fully embrace this truth, when you stop fighting against three-dimensional limitations and start dancing with multi-dimensional possibilities, your life transforms in ways your linear mind could never predict or plan. The Master Weaver is working now at this very moment, intertwining the threads of your next experience. The only question is, will you continue trying to weave with your own limited hands, or will you trust in the mastery of the one who sees the complete? Picture? If this video has touched something deep within you, if you felt that internal recognition that transcends mental understanding, then you are already tuning into the frequency of your 11th dimensional self. This feeling is confirmation that the connection is being established. Now, manifest this connection in the three-dimensional world through a simple but powerful action. Like this video to anchor this frequency, comment with the word multidimensional to declare your readiness for this journey, and subscribe to the channel with the bell icon activated to continue receiving these transmissions of expanded consciousness. Your other self already knows you would do this. After all, in some dimension, you already have. The 11th dimension is calling. Are you ready to answer?